Hi, this is Brian from Cutter Pros. Today we're looking at a Creation CR1300 refurb. It was sent back to us by a tint customer that upgraded to another system. So just want to kind of walk through this one. It's already set up for tint. I've got my tint in here. You'll see that this tint is reverse curled. So if we want to cut towards the end of the tint, what we want to do is we want to put little paper clips or little binder clips on this front edge to kind of weigh it down so it goes over the cutter. In this case I'm going to kind of start inward from the end, so I'm not going to have to worry about that. My pinch rollers, if you look on the back here, I've got a couple here, I'm not sure if you can see this, but they're set up as low force. So the pinch rollers in the middle are low force, so they don't mar the tint. The ones on the ends are higher force, and you'll see that they're right at the ends of the tint. Okay, so next thing what we want to do is we're using a standard 20-degree blade, non-carbide, just a standard steel blade. I've got that in my carriage. I'm going to set this up for a cut. In my test cut, I'm going to drop my rollers, drop. Okay, I'm going to do this test cut here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the force. I'm going to go to mode until I get the force. 155, way too much for tint. So what we want to do is we want to step this up slowly. And the reason we do that is because we don't want to cut into the cutting strip. Going through the tint and cutting into the cutting strip and making a mess is a problem, because then we have to change out the cutting strip. So I'm going to start really low at a force I'm pretty sure isn't going to go through. I'm going to try like 55 to start, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send an X. So I've got Vinyl Master set up here. Okay, we're back. I sent my little X and cut force of about 55. You see here I'm going to pick at it with my weeding tool. These are like the best weeding tools. The one end's got the pick, the other end's got the blade on them. But you can see I can't get that out of there. So that force is not going to work. So we're going to walk it up. And so I'm going to set it up for another cut next to it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it for a force of, I'll try 60. Putting it on line. And I'm going to send another X. Okay. Take it offline, bring it down a little bit. Let's see if I can weed this. You can see it's not quite there. Can't weed that. So we're going to walk it up some more. Set it up for another cut. My force, bump that up to 65. And try again. And you can see that we're going to repeat this a few times until we get to where we're happy. So I'm not going to put you through that. I will increment and show you what comes next. Okay, back again. So I iterated and iterated, got to this at 80, which seemed to weed okay. I brought it up a little more to 85, and 85 went through. I brought it down to 83, 83 went through. I got it to 82, and 82 seems to give the highest force we can get without poking through the back of the material. So that's the force I'm going to continue with. You can see it took me quite a lot of iterations to kind of get up to there. It's always best to kind of fine-tune your material this way. Another thing you can note, we've got the low force pinch rollers here. You can see there's no marking here on the material from the low force pinch roller. On the end where I have the high force pinch roller, you can see the knurl left in imprinted into the tint. So you want to put these on the ends where they're holding the material good, but you're going to get these marks, but they're on the ends, so we don't care. So next up, I'm going to set this up for a big triangle. And triangle will represent like maybe a rear corner window. So we're going to start out right about there. Put it on line. It's making the box around the weeding frame. Okay, now I'm going to go off and weed this. Okay, back again. You can see here I have a nice big table to do my weeding. I actually taped the 3 edges of the tint so it doesn't move on me while I'm weeding it. The other thing I should mention is when I was cutting, I was using full speed. I was at 90. Not sure what that means on a creation. But so now I'm going to weed this. And you can see here in the corner, lifts up quite nicely. I can't hold the camera and weed at the same time, so I'm going to weed this and then continue after I'm done. So weeding is tricky on tint. You have to be really careful and you have to pull in a normal direction to the tint. I just want you to get a feel for how I'm weeding this. You can see a nice pull, kind of normal to the cut lines, how I get that nice clean edge. And of course, my transfer tape isn't holding very well. So I'm going to continue. Back again. So I got this weeded out. You can see all along the edges, nice and clean. Nice sharp pointy corner. I don't know if you can see that. A little fuzzy. There we go. Nice clean edges all around. And it looks pretty good. So this is how we do tint with a CR1300 vinyl cutter. Thanks.